afternoon, fellow students. Let's start things off with a snap poll. I want you to imagine a very familiar scenario. You're an hour into your history reading that. Your eyes are dropping. You reread the same passage 3 or 4 times, and suddenly your mom aggressively opens the door and proceeds to lecture you about the importance of regular breaks while studying. Show of hands, whose mom is like this? We are the selected few. I'm guessing your moms are more likely to demand you to finish your homework and maybe even give you an extracurricular reading guide to support your application to Harvard. Even though my mom's interruptions and insistence that I get up and do something while I study is annoying, when I'm almost finished with my untaken reading guide, her interruptions actually represents very real science. By taking simple breaks, eating well, and managing our individual stress, we're not just improving our grades in the short term. We're actually building resilience, focus, and a strong fundamental basis for our own future achievements. As the NCBI argues, regular physical activity can improve cognitive function and academic performances. Shout out to all the student athletes in this room. We're more than jocks, we're nerdy jocks. You can find advice like this everywhere. According to the Global Wellness Institute, the global health economy is growing at a rate of 7.3% annually and will reach nearly $9 trillion by 2028. This rapid growth of the global health economy is caused by consumers' demand for healthier livings, healthier diets, and better mental health services. I'm here today to convince you to jump on board and consider the ways we all live unhealthily in our lives. We live in sometimes unhealthy environments where we prioritize our academic outcomes over our mental and physical health in the pursuit of a perfect GPA. Or well, for some of us, the best possible GPA because our lives supposedly depend on it. But our lives are more than just studying and college admissions, or they should be. As Ronald Wesley might say, we need to sort out our priorities. And when we prioritize health over academic achievements, we're investing in our long-term success. So today, it is imperative that we investigate deeper into how the prioritization of health over academic outcomes can shape our lives for the best. I promise I won't give you another lecture about how basis is a never-ending text generator. In fact, let us log into something more important than your grades. Yourself. I want you to imagine your brain as your smartphone. After all, your brain is the most sophisticated computer in the world. DeepSeek told me so. Just like our phones, our brain can run out of battery. They can overheat. They can be your source of distraction, and they can be your source of inspiration. The medical news today argues that cognitive fatigue is the deterioration of the ability to think effectively and maintain focus. Just like physical fatigue, prolonged mental activity can cause tiredness for our mindset. Studying for that next big test, after studying for that quiz, after finishing your annotation, after finishing your speech, after inserting mindless activity for your brain, education has become a zero-sum game. This is when a disaster strikes or failure comes when we start to prioritize health over our mental and physical health. As the Utopia explains that it is not hard to see where this corrosive zero-sum mindset comes from. Education has become a political punching bag on the national or international stage. But education is not politics, and the truth does not put in each other. Education is not a zero-sum game. We are programmed to think of our peers' success as our failures, and every minute we spend on athletes or arts is considered a waste of time, a choice that our competitors aren't making. The Education Week reports that 61% of the students report moderate to high levels of stress, and more than half say that this stress is related to schoolwork, meaning that students who are experiencing high levels of stress often suffer from their work. It's a self-defeating cycle, as the healthcare journal reports that when the stress becomes chronic or excessive, it negatively impacts our learning. Difficulties including concentration issues, retrieving information, and memorization skills negatively impact our mental and physical health. So this problem actually extends beyond not just fully memorizing your Chinese poem, because the American Psychological Association argues that this stress leads to depression, weaken the immune system, and increase the risk of heart disease. Sometimes the pressure we put in our brain turns out put in our heart. It is cliche to say that our brain and heart doesn't really follow one another, but it is true to say that both are compromised by our academic pressure and our stress. So, how can we combat our cognitive fatigue and boost our success? Well, simple steps can be taken to seek the resources that are available around you. First, a famous physics teacher, Mr. Suen once said that everyone, including kids, teenagers, and even adults, compare themselves with others. He always tells his son Rhythm that, hey Rhythm, to take proactive steps. Say the word no or stop to yourself when you start to compare yourself with others. Try it right now. You may be thinking that, oh, that Teresa girl does so much research. Oh, why didn't I run a TEDx speech? I bet it looks super duper good on her college app. No, stop. Don't compare yourself with me. First of all, I'm fantastic. And second of all, your journey is not my journey. I strongly believe that Mr. Singhouse's words lead to not only Brooklyn's success, but also the success of their whole family. Second, get up and get up. The Harvard T.H. School of Public Health reports, ooh, she's a Harvard. But isn't that me dangling right here in front of you to highlight that I should be studying right now if I want any chance to get in? On the contrary, they argue that children and adults who engage in regular physical activity can improve cognitive function and academic performances, like better grades, higher standardized test scores, and even school attendances. We can infer that a healthier lifestyle can include physical activities, physical nutrition, and adequate sleep. When children are more healthy, they can also find and build more healthy relationships with other people. In short, taking care of your body is directly proportional for you getting an A in the class while sitting in that dark room trying to figure out how to get your homework done is both not going to boost your success or your health. So take a break in the nature or walk in the nature 10 minutes every day after dinner is a simple and effective way for us to release our academic pressure and to reflect on ourselves. When I failed a test or multiple tests in multiple subjects, I always step outside and to reflect on myself. The nature, the plants, the trees, the squirrels, the sun. All those together make us to less likely to dive into that emotional disaster or make overly emotional decisions. By stepping outside, we can also gain more new perspectives at those around us into the challenges that we face through reflection. For example, maybe a 70% isn't a failure. In point of fact, it's passing. Third, stop thinking of your family as your enemy or merely a source of pressure for you to perform. As whether or not your family ascribes to school for helicopter or free-range parenting, family members play crucial and supportive roles. The Kids Health explains that family members can influence your ability to prioritize health. Basically, it means that family can help us to maintain the balance between academics and our health. Instead of just stucking in your room in the midnight figuring out how to get your homework done, family members can support you through conversation and shared activities. For example, you guys can have a healthy snack night together where we can make healthy meals together using nutritious ingredients. This not only releases our academic pressure, but also helps us to build more close relationships with our family members. I'm very lucky that I had a mom who always supports me. Yes. When I'm kind of miserable these days about whether or not I should attend the arts medal, my mom always tells me that whatever path I choose, she will always stand on my side and supports me. Oh, okay. But this does not mean that you should not call my mom or maybe Rhythm's mom, but instead seek the resources that are available around you. I totally understand that many of us don't have that high level of family relationships, but seek the resources that are available around you. Mental activities, including advisories, instead of just being a basics where we just get our homework done and review for our test, despite some emergency situations, you can always go check out your advisors and build some genuine connections with them. If you really need something, you can also find your college counselors to seek help. In short, so there's always someone be there for you. You don't have to just find your family members. Yes. So the next time when your mom promptly opens the door, whether to antagonize you or tell you to take a break, remember that she's not trying to disturb you. She is actually your unpaid life coach. Salute! So say bye to your impossible math problem and look at some nature theory. Today is the project that we explore how the prioritization of health over academic outcomes can shape our lives for the better. It's like when we're taking a break, it's like a software update for our grades. If we put in too much stuff in it, things might crash. Remember, your grades might get you through school, but your health will get you through life. So, listen to your mom. She's annoying, but she's right. Thank you.